So right now I am standing in front of my new residence. This is my new residence and a new premise, and I'm going to take you for a brief tour of, for today, the front section or front yard, whatever you call it, the front section of my premise. It's kind of large by Japanese standards, and it has arbitrarily divided front section, middle section, mid section, and backyard back section. Anyway, this is my house. I think it's I don't know if you can tell the dimension, you know, how large the house is, but it's a small house. It has 3 rooms, 2 rooms and the kitchen. But you know, what's so interesting is that those 3 rooms, 2 rooms and the kitchen, they are all of the same size. I don't know how the designer of this house, you know, how he or she came up with this design. I bought this from a person who died a couple of years ago. So to be more precise, I bought it from a lawyer who was in charge of managing this premise. There was no one to inherit this house, this premise. So this is the front. That's enough for the front. So as you can see, it's on the slope. You see, right in front is a wide enough road, as you can see. But again, it's on the slope. So I typically use my bicycle. You can see right there, I typically use my bicycle, so it's it gives me a good exercise every day. Here's a plum tree moving to the left. Actually, I'm now moving to the west. As you can see, there is a tall, can you see it? There's a tall antenna here. This belongs to, you know, this is still a part of my premise and my yard, and this belongs to a large mobile phone or telecommunications company, and this is a mobile phone antenna. So I'm renting this space, you see, to that company. That fetches, I wouldn't say a sizable income, but non-negligible amount of income every month. And also moving farther to the left or to the west, you can see here is another antenna that belongs to another telecommunications company called KDDI, and this antenna gives me something like I don't know, $60 a month. But you know, I don't even spend $5 on lunch, so it buys me like, you know, a dozen lunches. So that's nice. And my premise still continues. This is the front section. By front, I mean, you know, the part that's facing the road. This is the front section. It still continues here. This is a nice extra parking space which I'm not using. I'm into environmental science and also nature preservation and stuff. So I don't drive in Japan. In the U.S., I also divide my time. I used to divide my time between Japan and the U.S. and for about 20 years, my base was in the United States. And you know, when I was in the States, I had no other choice but to drive, so I drove. But now I don't. So this parking lot, I'm trying to put it to a good use later. And some of the graduate students at my university, they were thinking of doing some kind of, you know, experiment here, I guess. Some people study like what plants are good to grow in the garden or in the dry area and stuff like that. So there would be some good use to this. And as you can see, my premise still continues, but the west end of my premise is a mountain. It's a little hill, you know. It's a wooded area, a small forest, if you may. And the premise, I think, let's see, I once found a, you know, what do you call it? It's a peg, you know, to show the border, and the peg is wow, if it's missing now, I'll be in trouble. It's around here. Let's see if I can find it again. It was I don't want to bore you, but yeah, here we go. You see this blue peg here? This is the end of my premise, and right here is this is kind of, it's a cliff, and it's you know, there isn't enough soil to cause a huge landslide or anything like that, but there is, as you can see, the soil is coming down a bit, so if it rains too much, yeah, I may be in trouble, but I mean, luckily there's, you know, if the soil comes down, it will just fill this area, which is a road, and there's no house here, so I don't think I'll be accused of, or I'll be asked to pay any compensation or anything like that. Anyway, so this is the front area, and as I said, I'm into environmental science, so I'm trying to put this, you know, wooded area, forest part, into good use. By the way, I'm now heading east, and you know, here is the road, and it's I'm back to the smaller of the antenna and the larger, taller of the antenna here, and as you can see, the front section is, I mean, a part of it, a large part is rented, but you know, rented out, but still there is a lot of potential. You know, I can use it for my research and my graduate students. My means my former graduate students and still the graduate students who I study with and play with, I guess. They can put this place into good use. By the way, this is a pathway. There was a pathway, a little path here, but I decided to leave, you know, let the grasses grow over the summer, so I can see what kind of insects are attracted to this small patch of area, and actually quite a few, especially crickets, you know, cricket insects in the species in the cricket family, quite a few came here. How do I know? They chirp, and because of their chirping sound, you know, different chirping sounds let me know that. Let's see, so this is just about it for the front section. And by the way, in case you're wondering the my premise ends right around here. So this is the east end of my premise, like so. And there is a garage here, but I am only using it to keep my bicycle, and also for my cardboard boxes, it's for recycling. And if you go up, as you can see, there are steps here, and if you go up these steps, you reach what I call the middle section of the yard. And there's a little preview here. Look, this old house. Okay, I'm gonna end this video here, but I'm going to talk a lot about this old house next time when we talk, we tour the midsection of the premise. It gets more and more interesting. Okay, so stay tuned. I'm signing off. Bye until next time.